Recognition of a great American. We stand on ground where Dr. Martin Luther King was born and grew to be a man, where he worshiped and preached, and where he lies at rest with his wife. His monumental struggle for civil rights has earned these places in his life, faith and death, the same honor as Mount Vernon in Virginia or the famous humble log cabin in Illinois. I'm pleased that our president recognized this last week by signing legislation to designate these grounds as a National Historic Park. The bill was sponsored by Congressman John Lewis, a living legend in civil rights. It's a gift to future generations, a richly deserved legacy set in stone. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge Congressman Lewis and the many others who sacrificed and put everything on the line for the voice of reasonableness and fairness that Dr. King articulated so well. Dr. King's quest for civil rights and equality under the law indelibly touched the futures of our families. Many of us here today are old enough to recall Dr. King and his work and appreciate the gift he fought to give us. We marvel at the fact that he was able to preach peace and love in the face of such vile hatred. I remember so vividly the day as a high school student that the world was shocked by his assassination. This April, we will observe the 50th anniversary of his assassination. Far from silencing his message, his death made it immortal in American hearts. His dream of justice and our common human dignity resounds today and convicts us each to carry these values with us in our work. We can honor the legacy of the man who marched on Washington for jobs and freedom, fighting for millions of Americans of every race and background. And we can still fight against injustice and discrimination today in all of its forms. This year we also observed the 50th anniversary of the Fair Housing Act, legislation that was advanced to address many of the inequities in our society that Dr. King recognized. The dedicated men and women that I lead at the Department of Housing and Urban Development take this mission very seriously, working every day to provide decent, affordable, and fair housing to their fellow Americans. Perhaps most importantly, all Americans can participate in Dr. King's legacy by continuing to carry the torch of liberty and brotherly love across every generation. Now, as when he walked these grounds, the time is always right to do what is right. The time is right to put aside thoughts of division and hatred. The time is right to honor love, forgiveness, and brotherhood. The time is right to renew our commitment to justice and to our country, and to never stop working for all of her citizens. We have the time now because Dr. King used his time well then. Thank you, and God bless America.